So you've got your car insurance, you've got your house insurance, you've even got travel insurance. Should you get golf insurance? Let's do it.
Let's do it now.
Hi everyone, James Robinson here guys. We're getting straight into it yet again today, and it's a bit... I don't think we're missing... You alright with that, is it, mate?
Scorcher, I can't get it on. You know when your hands are so cold.
Oh dear. So guys, if you haven't heard or seen or don't know where you've been, we're in lockdown still in the UK. Me and Gaz have come out for another walk because to be honest, we're quite enjoying getting out in the fresh air, obviously keeping a distance and whatnot while we've been at work doing a few bits. And a lot of you guys have been really enjoying these kind of videos, these walking and talking style videos. So today we're talking golf insurance, and I know it's something which a lot of people probably don't know enough about it. Guys, you've been doing some research on your channel, and this is a bit of a kind of two-part video in that Gaz filmed a phone conversation with an insurance company asking them a few close to the bone questions.
I think it were like, you know, features and benefits, and why would you need to get a golf insurance? You know, most golf club members these days have sort of a golf insurance included in the membership. So what is the advantage of getting your own insurance, and what might members not know about, or you know, these people might not even have golf insurance.
So if you want to see that, go over and check out Gaz's channel. I think they're waiting for some kind of compliance so that you can actually use the phone conversation.
Yeah, so we've had a phone conversation, and they're just sort of speaking to their compliance manager to see if we can actually put that conversation into the video.
Yeah.
If not, then I might have to pick out, you know, all the information to sort of tell you about. And yeah, we'll get that out there to you.
Very good. I must say, it is a very good idea. It's not something I've ever thought of. And as soon as Gaz said about kind of golf insurance, I think are we covered with the PGA? I think somehow.
Well, we are for public liability, but again, have we ever had a certificate? Do we know what we're actually covered for? It's one of these things, you know, until something happens, you kind of sometimes aren't that aware of, are you?
No, definitely not. And obviously I'm saying that I'm covered. I think I'm covered. I know I'm covered in lessons and things, but when it comes to playing golf just with friends, I mean, it's not going to be any time soon. But you want to be covered, don't you? Last thing you want to do, obviously, if you do hit someone by mistake with a ball, you're going to feel terrible anyway.
Well, another thing as well, it's all good and well saying you want to be covered. Do you know how much access you're paying? How much excess you're paying?
Yeah.
Because, well, that's what you're going to find out today, you know, and it were an absolute shocker to me.
Yeah, you cold, mate?
Just a bit.
Let's do a different route. Let's go this way. Right. So we're not going to mention any company names because we don't want to get in trouble, and you don't know if you're allowed to use the proper information yet, but what was one of the big stickler points, or one of the big talking points, guys, from your phone conversation? And it's actually it's a good way of doing it, where you didn't tell them that you were recording it till the end, I think.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
So that's obviously, if someone says, by the way, we're recording this to show a couple of people, then they might change their answers a little. I'm not saying they've done that, I'm not saying they would do that, but
yeah.
What was one of the big talking points you got?
I think well, I mean, if we start by saying, let's talk about what's included in this golf club insurance that people have. Are we allowed to mention the provider of that?
No, probably don't.
Right, so basically...
Just don't go on the green, because it'll...
if you're
in fact, we need to go the other way, don't we? I don't fancy falling down there. Look how deep it is.
You don't know where it actually cuts.
No, you don't, do you?
You went down. Oh, that's a scorcher on neck.
Oh, it's so, I mean, you can obviously tell it's cold, but we'll take a wide berth round here and get up the 7th fairway, I think. So guys, apologies that I've really interrupted you there. I bet that's not helped you being cold, has it? Sorry, mate.
It's a scorcher, that.
So what was one of the big points for you?
I think one of the biggest points were what's included in your insurance from being a member at a golf club.
Yeah.
So you've got the public liability.
This is in the UK, isn't it?
This is in the UK, which is great. I mean, obviously, if you hit someone, you've got that sort of peace of mind that you're covered, you know, for any medical bills and things like that. There is an access which were quite a bit bigger than I expected, actually, about £400.
Yeah.
The surprising one were the accidental damage one.
Yeah.
You know, for me, what's the point in having accidental damage if your excess is £450?
The
excess. Sorry, am I getting that wrong?
Yeah.
It seems quite steep. You know, if you break someone's car window or you run over the golf club door, you know, whatever accidental damage you could do at a golf club. I thought £450. It's quite steep.
It's probably not going to cost that much to replace like a car window or something, is it?
Exactly, yeah. And obviously when you have your own policy, your excess is more like sort of £35.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of amount that you can afford to pay.
And we should probably say as well that this isn't, careful that bunker there, this is by no means an advert for golf insurance or any kind of golfing. I couldn't even tell you the names of the companies, to be honest, but
I think it's just to broaden your knowledge, you know, while we're not playing golf at the minute, just learning as much as you can about these things.
Yeah.
Because it's not something you're going to tend to do when you're busy, is it?
No, it's probably not. And I must admit, obviously, the amount of golf that I particularly play when I travel, I know I have travel insurance, but I have no idea what and where and when I'm covered for golf insurance. It's definitely something which I'm gonna, where should we go here? This way. Definitely something which I'm gonna look at more, just on the back of obviously what you've said in your conversation. But
I think one of the other points, you know, what will be quite interesting is the contents cover. So, I mean, I'll just use myself as an example. A couple of years ago, I had my garage broken into. I think I had about £2.5 grand for.
Did they take the MX-5, did they?
Oh no, they didn't touch that. It weren't worth taking. So I had £2.5 grand for equipment stolen, and when I come to get my claim through my house insurance, because I didn't have a golf policy, my garage were capped at £1,000. So I lost £1,500, or I felt like I'd lost £1,500. On top of that, I'd had to pay a £250 excess. So now I'm sort of feeling like I'd lost £1,750. And then on top of that, my premium went up about £200. So it got to a point where I thought, what were the point in bloody claiming?
Yeah, you shouldn't have claimed, should you?
And then, but you know, we're not here to sell golf insurance, but if I'd have had it, I'd have paid a £35 excess, I'd have got my full equipment cover, and my premium wouldn't have gone up.
Yeah.
So it does make you wonder, you know, for £30 to £60, are we missing a trick? You know, what is that?
Yeah,
it's
I mean, you know what? It could be something as daft as maybe everyone that's watching this video has golf insurance, has a really good golf insurance policy, and maybe it's just us that haven't. You know what I mean? It could be something as silly as that
yeah.
We just haven't looked into it that much. So guys, hit the comments below if you have it. Like, don't be naming any brands or who you use or what deals you've got, because I really don't want this to turn into some kind of golf insurance advert, because that's not what this is. But I think it's such a good talking point, like you said, at the moment when we're not playing golf, when we're not necessarily busy.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you everything because I want you to tune in on my channel, but there is a lot to be said. There's a lot of points what are being covered, and it does add a bit of value, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never thought about it until obviously my garage were broken into. And I don't think you do. I think sometimes you don't think about these things till it's too late, do you?
No, it's like, it's almost relatable to like a kind of gap insurance, isn't it, with a car? Like I have gap insurance on my car, and I mean, a lot. My dad said, oh, don't bother taking it, and other people said, don't bother taking it, but then you're never going to think, oh, that's money well spent, unless your car's been stolen, are you?
Well, you know, that's a great example, because I suffered a car write-off in my first year.
Yeah.
I didn't take it out.
So if you'd have had it?
So if I'd have had it, yeah, I think I lost at least 30% of the car's value. Luckily, I just had the car long enough that it didn't put me into a deficit.
Yeah.
I could just clear it finance, but didn't really, you know,
yeah, so you didn't really come out with anything on the basis of it. And I mean, some golf clubs I know people who spend more on the golf clubs than they do the car.
Yeah.
You have your car insurance, but you don't necessarily have your golf insurance. Because for me, sorry to interrupt you, when I think of golf insurance, I don't necessarily think of my clubs being stolen. I think of if I hit a car that drives in, or if I mean, I've put it in a few car parks before, and luckily nothing was damaged. But I have no idea where I would have stood if someone would have said, you've just put the windscreen through on my Aston Martin, son, that's going to cost you a bit. I'd be like, well, who do I ring? What do I do? I have no idea.
I think as a final point as well is, what people don't realise is if they haven't got personal golf insurance cover, then your golf equipment isn't insured outside your house.
Right.
So if you leave it outside a golf shop, you've got no cover. If you're in the trees and somebody comes on across, and picks your clubs up and drives off,
where did you grow up?
Honestly, I've heard of that happening. What,
someone's just come on motocross bars?
Have a chat with Dalton Richardson at Silton Golf Club.
Really?
Honestly, it happens. There's loads of cases where you might break some equipment, some expensive equipment, close your boot, snap a few clubs. Unless you've got personal cover, you haven't got cover, because your golf, your membership in your insurance in your golf club membership isn't going to cover it, and your home insurance isn't going to cover it.
And did you find all this out on that phone call, near enough?
Yeah, pretty much. In fact, should I quote that? Your home insurance isn't going to cover it. Does any home insurance extend the cover beyond the house? Because
I wouldn't know, mate.
I wouldn't know that, actually.
No.
Maybe I'm being a bit presumptuous saying that, but not to my knowledge anyway.
Yeah.
Is that a fair enough comment?
I would think so. Yeah. And I think that the big case in point for me really is, do you want that peace of mind? Like, do you want? I can't believe how ignorant I am towards it, to say it's my job, it's my hobby, it's been my life for the last 20 years, and I have no idea if I'm covered for it or not.
That is a really good comment, that.
Isn't it? Like,
I'm exactly the same. We're bloody golf pros.
Yeah.
And we're asking these questions, so what, you know.
So, I mean, hopefully that's been a bit of a good insight for you. Hopefully it's got you thinking. If it hasn't got you thinking, if you're already more organised than we are, then well done. Like,
that's probably the case.
That is probably the case. So it might have been a big waste of time for everyone. It might have been a bit eye-opening. Some people might have, I don't know. Yeah, hopefully it didn't come across as too much of an advert, because that's not entirely...
There'll not be any discount codes or anything.
There'll be no discount code, no. Especially after the phone call, guys. So make sure you go and check that out, guys, on Gary's channel. He's doing really well. He even did a behind the scenes with me today, didn't you? So that's coming as well.
That's been really good for me. I've learnt a lot.
Good. Learn how not to do it. And apart from that, go and check out my second channel, because I'm more busy plugging his. Mine's slowed down. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hopefully we'll be back golfing again soon, and we can have these discussions while hitting a little round ball around a field, and it won't be as dangerous apparently then. So yeah.
If you enjoy James's content, subscribe and comment.
And apart from that, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Subscribe.
We've just come to the exact same point that we didn't want to fall down last time.
Is that a blooper?
Yeah.